Alrighty, let's begin our screencast for today. And we are screencasting Wednesday's lesson in iMovie. And what I'd like you to do is to have your iMovie project open from Tuesday that looks similar to what you see below, the Soldier in the Desert video. And we're going to show you how to sweeten it up a little bit, how to fine-tune some of the edits with some trimming techniques, first of all. And then we're going to integrate some audio and give you a chance to tinker a little bit with some of your own ideas with some of the sound bites provided in this project. So by the end of this, you should have a pretty good idea how to add audio and work with it a little bit, as well as trimming some clips and just having fine-tuning techniques. That's what I would call this. So at any point in time, what I'd like you to do is to pause this video and then go back to your project and make the edit as described in the video. And along the way, I'm going to give you some tips that will help you get maybe an extra point or two on your Edmodo quiz just for watching the video and paying good attention. So we'll throw a little bone out to you that way. But anyhow, let's begin with the screencast. As you can see, we've got these first several clips strung together, and we'd gone through class and taken a look at some of these. And of course, they don't have any audio. That's with reason. We're going to put our own audio underneath it. But I think in most of the classes we'd gotten to this second clip, Heard Something is the name of the clip, and decided that there's a little bit too much pause between when he is away from the camera and when he turns his shoulders and faces the camera. So the first edit in this screencast is to take those first, we decided about 3 seconds worth, and trim that away. So if you have not made this edit, this is how we make the edit. We take our out point and we slide it out to 3 seconds and 10 frames, and that leaves this yellow region selected. And then in order to get rid of that yellow region so that we can trim that away, that extra footage, all we have to do is go out on the keyboard and tap the big delete key. That's what I'm going to do next. And when I do so, you can see that that clip from the timeline has now been trimmed, and therefore he turns around a little bit faster. So it's kind of nice to play these two back. I like to select clips 1, 2, and 3, and I did that by clicking the first and then holding the shift key and clicking the third, which is first march. And then you can play all three to see how the edit looks when it's surrounded by those other clips. So I like the edit. He turns and faces, hears something, and then runs off into the distance here. So it looks like a real nice edit. We're lucky too in that we're editing some professionally shot video. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, continuing on with first march, there wasn't any further edits that had to be made with that clip. And I'm going to go through the clips one by one. So if you hadn't made that edit with Heard Something, you need to pause this screencast, go out and make that edit, save it, and then come back to the screencast. And so now, therefore, we're moving to this clip, Stop for Drink. Let's take a look at it and see if we can make this any better. And I see something we can do to make it better because I have an idea what goes on in the next clip, Drinking Canteen. If I just jump to the next clip, you can see that the canteen, it's the same shot, it's just a little bit closer up. And what I'd like to do is take a few frames off the end of this one, and we've already got that established in the next clip where he's got the canteen close to his mouth. So I was thinking these last few frames right here we could eliminate and just have it jump to this clip. And so therefore it'd be kind of a smoother transition here. So what I'm going to do is, and I'd like you to do this too after you've seen the edit, go ahead and make it on your computer, but we're going to take these 2 points, the out point, move it to the end of the clip, and then the in point, and I'm just going to surround it. I'm going to back this up until the canteen is just a little bit further, maybe at about just slightly past his chin level. And by removing this, it should be a little bit smoother transition to the next close-up of him drinking out of the canteen with more of a tighter shot. So I've got those frames selected. You can see my in point is at 17:17, and now I'm going to strike delete on the keyboard, and those frames are now gone. So if I play back Stop for Drink and Drinking Canteen, and even Drop the Canteen, looks something like this. So comes up to his mouth, and we just removed a few extra frames, and I like that a little bit better than what we had before. So now it's your turn. Go out and make that edit to Stop for Drink. We just trimmed a few frames off the end of the clip, and then come back to the screencast after you're finished making the edit. Now we're moving on to Drop the Canteen. This clip looks fine. He's wearing out, stumbling through the desert. And now we're going to jump to Hands Up again. And this clip we're going to do later on in class. I've got a nice still frame that I'd like to integrate into that clip. We're going to learn how to split and then add a still shot. But in this point in the video, we'll just skip past that and we'll move on. After we've seen the sun, hat back on, I'm just kind of going through these to make sure we don't have to make any further edits. That one's fine the way it is. All right, let's go to first fall. And that one's fine. Crawling horizontal, I previewed that one. That one's fine. Swaying head is fine. That's the next one in the sequence. In fact, we can go all the way up until we get to, let's see, fall flat on face. We're getting close to a nice edit that I'd like to try to integrate here. Okay, that one's fine. Rolling on back. And that one is fine. And this is the next one. This is kind of going to be a new edit, kind of a nice little touch here. But you've got kind of a medium close-up shot. And he's kind of blinking right there. And what I'd like to do is to take this clip and cut it in half. And in between a little bit of this, I'd like to integrate this close-up shot that you see me have of his head. Okay, so if I play close-up head, this whole shot right there is going to go right in the middle of looking at birds. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take looking at birds and put our playhead halfway through it, about, and we're going to end up splitting this. And in order to split a clip, we go up to the edit menu, I believe, and we choose split video clip at playhead. So if you want to do that in iMovie quick and then come back to the screencast, you can, or you can finish this part of the screencast and make the edit on your own. But when you split the clip, focus your attention now down to the timeline, right? It says looking at birds and looking at birds 1. All we did was we split that clip in half, so I could take this clip, close up head, and drag it right between, just like so. And so now when you play those three clips together, looking at birds, close-up head, and then looking at birds the other side, it adds a little bit of interest. We get a kind of a wide shot, moves tighter, and then it goes back out to kind of a far shot. So it gives us an opportunity to split a clip into a couple different clips like that. And I've got a couple different ones in my shelf than you do. We'll not worry about those for now. And then I think at that point we're good. You should probably save, and then we'll get to the next part of the video, which is adding audio. So what I'm going to do meanwhile is take the remainder of these clips that I've got left and probably move them up. Let me get rid of these stills. You guys don't have the stills. We're not going to be using those right now. So to stop any confusion that might occur because your shelf looks different than mine, I'll get rid of those stills. Okay, we've got a couple more clips that I'm kind of moving up here into a little higher cubby on the shelf. That one I've already got, so doesn't matter. We're not going to use those clips for now. I guess one of them we kind of could. You know, it's all a big spoof here. So at the end of the video, tracking with sound, this is of course the last clip of the video, and what you have here is a man, that's a little bit loud, who's become delusional, and he's dreamt all this. So you can see the spoof here, and he's come out of his dream, and then of course the man finds him, and of course they cart him off and take him back to the institution. It's all in good fun. So I think I'm just going to take that clip in its entirety and put it after the vulture clip. So that's kind of the way the video ends as far as the video portion of it. If I play those last three clips, looks like this. You could pause the screencast here and add that to the remainder of your video. And that's kind of how it ends. So the other part I wanted to give you a little intro to and then let you add audio as needed. Excuse me, iMovie has a separate track for adding audio. And up until now, we've only been viewing this part of it, where we can only view one clip at a time in the same size. You know, the same size clip. So if we click on this little watch over here, this displays the audio portion of iMovie. And you notice there are 2 tracks, and those are set for us to add audio into those 2 tracks. You can have 2 separate layers of audio playing at any given time in iMovie. So I'm going to show you how to add audio and how to layer it, and then you can add audio clips as needed. Okay, so what you have to do first of all is find the audio clip that you like to add, and iMovie doesn't let you just bring it into the cubby like a video clip. Instead, you've got to drag it and drop it into iMovie, and it's going to drop wherever you have your playhead. So there is a background song that goes with this, and I'm going to bring my playhead back to the beginning because I want the song to start at the beginning of the video. And then on my laptop, my clips are in a different spot, but as you remember from yesterday, we had placed your audio clips in an audio folder on your hard drive in your movies folder. So I'm going to browse out to where I have mine, and you can do the same for where you have yours after you see how I do this. And my clips are going to be in here. Yours is going to be in a different spot, as I described, but all of these are audio clips that can be used in this video. And the one I was thinking of using was probably, let me look at the size of these because I remember it was going to be one of the bigger audio clips. Let's see here, increasing size. I think it was, let me check out the kind of these here. Okay, I don't think it was battle sounds. Let me just preview this quick. Nope. Bird sounds, desert theme. I think that was the one. Let's see. Okay, that's the one. So it's 1:20 in length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it from Finder and drop it in the timeline right near that playhead. So when I do so, I'm just kind of rough cutting. It doesn't matter if you aim at audio track 1 or 2. As long as you place it, iMovie will import it, and that's what that purple represents. There's your audio clip. And notice the clip can be dragged left or right, and notice it doesn't fill the entire sequence, does it? And this little slider here also lets you zoom in to more or less of your timeline. So let's leave it the way it is and let you listen to it. And it really adds a lot to it. Now you can do the same in yours. If you have to pause, you can come back and do that. But what I'd like to do after you come back is teach you how to add more of that so it has enough to play throughout the video. Because as you can see, it's going to run out right here, this song. Okay, now what I'd like to do is to take that same clip and simply copy and paste it. And by doing so, I'll get another copy that I can put down below it. If you're not comfortable with the copy paste, you can also just drag a new one from Finder and drop it in the track below. But for me, I'm comfortable with copy paste. I'm going to take the purple audio clip, and you can copy it with a right click, or you can do Command C in the dark. Here I'll do Command C, and then I'm just going to move my playhead down and do Command V. That means paste. It's hung up here a little bit on me. I have an uncharacteristic freeze in iMovie, so just give me a minute to try to get rid of this freeze. And I might have to stop the screencast and come back, and we'll pick up where we left off.